a while since we actually did that, like with a ball. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to the camera, and if you're tuning in live, you're just going to look, well, you're going to look at me, which you're probably doing anyway, but don't look at the ball. We're in this room, we're just going to look at each other. Okay, so what I want you to do is I'm going to give you a series of things to do, instructions, and we're going to do them, but we're not going to look at the ball. So we're going to go 1, and I want you to add a pinky in the air somewhere as you throw. Every now and then. Keep throwing that ball, though. Okay, you got to do it in between throwing the ball. Okay, 3 and index finger. 4 and thumb. I was careful not to do that one. I was doing... Okay, let's just come to our thumbs and let's just go through every finger, actually. Okay, so let's try and keep looking past the ball. And let's go thumb, index, middle, the ring one, as we did that yesterday, was it, or the day before? That one's a hard one. Takes a bit more thought, doesn't it? And then the pinky. Okay, so now let's take a step back. Let's close our eyes just for a second. 10 seconds. Take a deep breath in for 5. As we do that, open your arms up, but keep your eyes closed if you can. So big breath in, open the arms as wide as you can without letting that ball as best you can fall. Hold that breath in and then bring the hands closer together as we breathe out. Open your eyes to check into your space. I've gone through like 3 balls in the last 3 seconds. I've got a tub here that I keep digging into. So let's do a bit of forward smiling. Okay, a bit of in front smiling. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a smile here and we're going to do a 4 and we're going to take it back. Okay, do a 4, catch it in the other hand. We're going to do a smile. Let's see who's coming in. Tam's coming in. So smile up, smile, change hands, smile up, and so on. And as we do that, let's feel it in our body as well as our hands. Morning, Tam. So we're just doing a bit of with one ball, smile in front and then a 4 up and catch and a 4 back. Let's catch it with the opposite hand, 4 up and 4 back and try and find some rhythm there. As we do this, let's really put a grin on our face. Okay. Getting mixed up. So really like widen that smile on that face and switch hands as we go. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to continue doing this, but I'm going to get you to add in a little bit of a side. So we just kind of throw in 4s all the way around, all the way over and back, all the way around. So we're kind of capturing all sides. Then we're going to switch hands at some point. And we're going to bring a little laugh to our mind, a little laugh to ourselves, okay? Do it. You can do it as loud as you want, or you can do it as quiet as you want. But I want you to laugh so that fake laugh turns into a real laugh. I was practicing this morning when I got up on my own on the sofa. And it actually works. So just let that wash over you as we do that. Just be aware of kind of your eyes scanning the room past that ball as you go. And then in your own time, bring it back into that 1-1. And let's just, for a minute, catch some gratitude. This morning, we are going to write a mental letter to somebody that we are grateful to have in our life. So as we do that, let's think past the ball. Let's let the ball become automatic. And let's just write that letter for the next 30 seconds. And if you can call that person today and give them a little bit of that letter, do it. If you can't call that person today, keep them in your head. Tell them in whatever way you can. And just recognize this ball as that thing that has just been subconsciously in our mind as we've just done that. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a little check-in with our conscious and subconscious. Whoop, hold the same ball up. So let's just, again, check into our space, check into the thoughts that we've just had, and check into our conscious right now. The conscious mind contains all of the thoughts, feelings, memories, and wishes of which we are aware of in any given moment. This is our moment right now. So let's just have a moment of just checking in with whatever comes to our head. Is it a thought? Well, whatever thought comes to our head, is it a feeling as well? A memory? A wish? Just bask in this moment. I'm just going to give you all a little wave so I can actually look at you as I do this as well. So I think we're always looking around the space and trying to, but actually, you know what I've just thought of is we've done this for 10 weeks and I've not thought of, well, you're here as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm looking around like, and I know there's the connection there. That's, you know, I suppose that's a subconscious thing, but right now I've become conscious like, well, you are going to be more things today. In my space, my conscious thoughts. Okay. So let's dig into our subconscious. The conscious mind is this reservoir. I love this. The conscious mind is this reservoir of feelings, thoughts, and urges and memories that are outside of our conscious awareness. Let's take this to a 3 and let this 3 find some rhythm and find some bounce. I want you to think of something that happened as a result, I suppose, of your subconscious mind. 2 things happened to me over the last couple of weeks. One was yesterday. I came into the space and I was like, Alexa, lights on, and realized that like there was no Alexa in the space. That's at home. And I did the same thing when I'm walking down the street and I'm like, Alexa, volume to 4 in the street, you know, like, I mean, I didn't say that one out loud. I caught that thought before, but I was like, it just made me think of this subconscious, this unconscious, you know, this automatic behavior. So let's just take 30 seconds as we bounce into that 3 and think about the last time that something subconscious creeped in. I'm liking what's going on. Let's add a bit of movement to it as well. Okay, and in your own time, as you do that, as you just catch them thoughts, go find yourself a second ball. Don't stop that first ball moving. Okay, whatever you're going to do with that first ball, don't stop it moving. And let's just come into a 4-4. So what we're going to do is we're going to start a new bit of a visualization this morning, a new world we're going to create for ourselves. So this week's theme was imagination, excitement, which we dug into yesterday and the day before. And then the third one was distraction, and I really struggled with this morning. When I thought of it like a couple of weeks ago, I was like, oh, these 3 things go together. But then when I was thinking of it this morning, something didn't click. So I threw in something else this morning, illumination. So what we're going to do is these 2 right now are just light switches. One is on, one is off, one is on, one is off. You can choose whichever. And I want you to consciously switch one on, then switch it off again, switch it on, switch it off, switch it on, switch it off. And you can see whatever, you can picture whatever this light is for you. For this session, we're just going to see it as some illumination that's going to light up some new feelings in us or some new thoughts in us this morning as we move forward to this visualization. So we're going to go with a waterfall. Okay, and what we're going to do is we are going to picture all the bits, all of the journey that this water goes through down this waterfall. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with 1-1, okay? And this is at the point in which all of that water falls into that mist and hits the rest of the water, and it creates that, okay? So let's just think about that for a second and just imagine and feel the power there. This I find, number 1, is very powerful, especially when I've got 2 balls, a very rhythmic, powerful, easier one to not really think about. It just happens. So 1-1, this is when the water hits the rest of the water. 2-2, let's hold that for a second. This is when all that water has hit and it's kind of past the mist and just kind of maybe, you know, a mile down the river, half a mile down, wherever it's falling from, is that kind of calm again. Okay, and we realise that, like, you know, just a bit further up there was this big thing that happened, and they're just a bit further down the river, there's that calm. So let's go with those two. Let's do one. Let's imagine it hitting, and let's slow it down as it kind of comes to that stopping point. Maybe take a moment there to just think about anything that resonates with you, how you can use that as a metaphor to take that into your life in some way. There's lots of things that happen, and as we slow down, we can kind of think about it calmly. And what happens is we're going to look at the water cycle here. Okay, so we've got the evaporation that takes the water up, and the rain that brings it back down again. The evaporation that up, and the rain that comes down. So just think about those two things. Wherever that water is, it evaporates and it comes back, evaporates and it comes back. Okay, maybe into that same river, maybe into a different river, but it knows that it's going to do the same thing again. It's going to go up and it's going to rain down. It's going to go up and it's going to rain down. And it might fall down that waterfall and hit the bottom and make its way to just that calm place before it starts again. Before it goes up and down. So that's our 4 and a 4, our evaporation and our rain that comes down. Okay, so our 3 here is going to be that water that is approaching the edge. Okay? The water that is flowing and it's approaching that fall. And you know that feeling you get when you go over the over a hill, or you're on one of them rides, the free fall feeling, you know. We probably know it in circus a lot more. I suppose we can control it a lot more with what we do. Okay, up and down. Right as that water tips over that edge, a 4 is thrown in, and that feeling is caught. Okay, so we've got a 3 and we've got a 4. So let's imagine this as that water approaching, and that 4 is just as it tips over the edge, right before its fall. It's that point in which it tips. A 3, then a 4, a 3, then a 4. Okay, so let's see that first 3 as the water approaching, that 4 as it falls, and that third 3 as its journey down before it hits the bottom. Okay, we've got a 3, a 4, a 3. Let's try that on both sides. 3, 4, 3. Let's just take a moment there, if you can, to do it with 3 balls. Okay, if not, just keep working with 2. And let's just think past the balls and understand this is an ongoing cycle. At some point, that bit of water is going to fall down the next waterfall, or it's going to be evaporated up in the air, and it's going to rain back down, to go through that same cycle. And just recognize this endless cycle of this juggling, and draw a parallel to that world, that visualization we're creating this morning. So in your own time, we're going to go back to 2 balls, but I want you to get rid of the third ball in any way you want without disrupting. This is going to be hard for me. Without disrupting the rhythm, let's say. Okay, so there's a recognition there of every time that water falls, it falls differently. It's just free falling. So I'm going to throw in a rampage of appreciation here. So this is you to make your own one up. Okay, so you can do a 4 and a 1, 4 and a 1, anything you want. So we're going to just add the rampage to this. We're going to call it a rampage. And this is that acknowledgement of when that water's falling. It's got no control. All of the bits of water, all the particles, they're all uneven. They're all at the mercy of nature. Okay, so I'm gonna do a 3-1 there, but you can do whatever you want. That rampage. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I found some a lovely few bits of advice from a waterfall this morning on Pinterest, and I just want to finish this visualization with these 5 bits of advice really that the waterfall is giving us. So as I do this and as I go through each one, think about what bit of the journey of that water this might be. Maybe take a moment to think about, if you heard these words in a different context, how that would maybe help you, your day, your head, your life. The first one is go with the flow. The second one is roar with excitement. The third one is let those worries, when they can, fall away. And if they can't, there's just that rampage of appreciation where we're acknowledging that we can't right now. But eventually, the water's going to hit that turbulence and it's going to slow down to that calmness again. The fourth one is stay active. Keep moving. And then the fourth one, I think is my favorite, make a splash. So in whatever way you're going to make a splash into your day today, I know, Pete, you got a really busy morning. But we're going to think about how we are going to make a splash in our day today, whatever that means. We're going to go in today with purpose. We're going to go in today with a splash. And what I want you to do is I want you to acknowledge that moment later on today where you're like, this is my splash. Don't know what that means. It's open for you to decide. Okay, so I'm just going to run through all of that bit of advice from that waterfall for the last minute. Go with the flow. Roar with excitement. Let your worries fall away if you can. If you can't, then acknowledge where you're at and know that it's going to come to a calming place. Stay active. And your task for the day, guys, is to make a splash. Okay, let's take both of those balls. Let's put them one on this arm. Okay, I'm going to show you with one arm, and then we can do it together. And then you're going to drop to catch. But let's do it with 2 arms. So you're going to put it on here, and then you're going to use your other arm. I definitely can't do it. I don't know why I can't do that. And then in your own time, we are just going to imagine that this is the tipping point of the waterfall. And we're going to catch that ball as we go. Okay. Squeeze that ball. Take a look at it. Recognize everything that we did today. And throw it and make a splash. That's it from me today. Have a beautiful day. Yes. Nice. I like that little bounce and all there, Tam. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Have a nice one. And I shall see you tomorrow. And I want to start adding all these things together from the rest of the week.
Cheers, Joe.
No worries. Have a good day, Pete. Hope all goes well with your prescribing stuff.
Thank you.
No worries. See you later. Bye. Thanks, guys, for joining in live. If you want to join Zoom, if you head on over to spaceplans.com, you can do that. Or you can come back here live.